What the fuck is going on YouTube, man? Like, honestly, this has been the last couple weeks have been absolutely insane, YouTube wise. Just things going on YouTube have been absolutely nuts. And I don't really understand. I've been waiting to make this video because I wanted to make sure all like everything was out before I commented, right? And I know a lot of people had been getting shit for not talking about one of these situations at least. But then we're quick to jump on the Doctor Disrespect thing. Now I was one of those people. I was quick to jump on there. Obviously, I don't post very much on this channel, but the thing I think I wanted to do with this channel is make it more like not necessarily like video essays, but like I want to still have fun with things, but also talk about like important stuff. So I wanna try to commit to at least one video a month on the channel. I can't guarantee that, but I've been working on writing some videos, like collecting stuff for them, writing them, whatever. So I had a video fully written. And it's ironic, it's kind of about a similar thing, and I'm hoping to get it out in the next couple weeks maybe. But it's been about these P-word catchers that have been like online vigilantes. I was working on a video about that. I think it's pretty good. I just haven't had time to record it yet, but you know, in the middle of writing that, all this stuff comes to the plate. And I honestly didn't really even write anything for this video because this one is kind of more so like it's hard to necessarily write something. I did write something for the last video, the Dr. Disrespect video, but this one felt a little different because it's not only talking about one person, it's talking about multiple people. But the fact is I was going to talk about. Okay, let me just break this down. Let me just cut the shit here. As of recently, as of the 2 days ago, 3 days ago, there have been three like huge cases of talking to, hooking up with, flirting with minors online and big personalities online. Whether it's two of them are big YouTubers, one is a cameraman of a big YouTuber. But we've gotten like three in a row, like back to back to back, which has been crazy. So if you don't know, the three people I'm talking about is Cody Ko, Ava Chris Tyson, and then this guy Chris. I can't remember his last name off the top of my head. Chris, who is a cameraman for Kai Cenat and like the AMP gang. And apparently, I saw this earlier today. Apparently, Complex News picked up that story about the cameraman, and they thought it was Chris Next Door, the member of AMP, and they ran a story saying Chris Next Door was the person. And I was like, how do you mess that up? Like, how can you even run a headline like? And apparently they were very quick to delete it and take it down and all that stuff. But like, yo, how do you mess that up? That's defamation. I mean, if someone saw that and then was like, oh, Chris Next Door is that could go down as defamation. Anyway, I'm talking about these three creators. I don't know if the guy Chris is a creator, but works for creators, whatever. Chris, the cameraman. It's crazy because ever since I don't know if it has any correlation. I doubt it, but it's almost ever since the whole Kendrick thing, the A minor probably struck a chord, and it's probably like after all of that, obviously I don't think that there's any factual evidence or really any evidence at all to say that Drake is that. I think it was just a rap beef. They said some things. I mean, Drake was saying Kendrick was like abusing his wife and he was cheating on her and that his kids aren't his and all these things, and like, which probably isn't true. So like Kendrick fires back with something else that again probably isn't true. So like whatever. But it seems like ever since that, I don't know if people are gaining more confidence to speak out against these individuals that have been grooming harassing, whatever you want to call it. But it's been crazy. I mean, first we started with Dr. Disrespect, right? I made a whole video, and what's funny is about, not funny, but there's a little update to that. He just posted on his Twitter and just was basically like he's coming back to the internet or whatever. And apparently he has had some interactions with people already on Twitter, because people are making fun of him, of course, being like, oh, it's probably a minor, because he posted a picture of him playing like chess or something, and like people are making all these edits or whatever, and he's just being a clown. I don't know. I don't really know, but I'm not worried about him today. I mean, maybe if something develops with him, we'll talk about it on the channel. I'm not worried about him right now. The first person we're going to talk about, though, is Cody Ko. Now, I got to say, this one was hard for me. This one was real hard. Cody Ko has been a creator that I have enjoyed for a long time. I mean, I wasn't really watching him on Vine that much, but as soon as his like That's Cringe series started popping off, I really started enjoying his videos. Like, I started watching them, started looking forward to them. The That's Cringe, and then just some of his other content too I was enjoying. I had been subscribed for a long time to his channel. I liked his channel. It sort of got a little repetitive, recently. He just kind of reacts to the same videos. But over time, it was like a cool creator. I'd listen to their podcast occasionally, him and Noel. They have Noel Miller. They have a podcast called Tiny Meat Gang, which is ironic, and you'll see later. But so it hurt. That one was tough. But apparently, Tana Mojo and Brooke Schofield, who do this podcast called Canceled, they're on a tour. They're doing like a live podcast tour. A lot of podcasts do that now, where they just do like a live show, do their normal podcast, but also like throw in some other goofs and gaffs or whatever. Apparently, Tana got a question from somebody on the podcast tour, and it was basically along the lines of like, who's the smallest guy that you slept with or whatever. And she said it was Cody Ko. And then she added something, which that part is what it is. Who cares, But then she added something, and she was like, I was literally 17, so it doesn't matter. So people kind of took that and were like, I'm not sure what's going on here. Then, come to find out later down the line, Tana kind of confirms it that they were hooking up when she was 17, which apparently now it might be she might have been 16 when the first time they hooked up, but he was 25. Yikes. And it's weird because and I understand having fans, and your fans always want to defend you, but like there's certain things where it just seems so weird. Like fans were being like, well, maybe he didn't know she was 17, which is fair, right? I mean, it's fair. It's a fair thing. It could have been a mistake and whatever. Apparently, there's this resurfaced clip from another creator named Gabby Hanna. Gabby Hanna had this resurfaced clip where apparently on there she was referencing a moment where she told some YouTuber that he was hooking up with a 17-year-old. I don't know exact context of it, but God damn it, I forgot the guy's name that made this big exposed video. I'm so sorry. I'll link it down below. But in that clip, she kind of referenced, I think she was talking about Tana, saying like, oh, she was hooking up with some guy, told the guy she was 17. The guy was like, oh, all right, and then like hooked up with her anyway, or something like that. And, again, I wouldn't take that with like, oh, that's definitely him. However, it's been now about a month since that whole thing kind of came out. Maybe it's been less, but I feel like it's been about a month since the whole thing. He has not said shit. He has not said anything. And at first, I think it was, when it wasn't, when Tana didn't double down, when, people weren't really talking about it too much. He was like, maybe I'll just brush this under the rug and we'll move on from this. Okay, that's fair. It's not really, but it's like, whatever, fine. But then, all of a sudden, she doubles down. There's this exposed video comes out, and he's radio silent. Apparently, he still was doing a DJ set or something, which is kind of weird. And at the DJ set, he played this song by Justin Bieber, the "Is It Too Late Now to Say Sorry," which is just pretty ironic, seeing as what was going on, and you decided to play that song at your set. It's just kind of strange. But it's still been absolutely radio silence from Cody for the longest time. Nothing. We haven't heard anything from his side of the story. But then, all of a sudden, his podcast studio, TMG Studios, Tiny Meat Game, but TMG Studios, with him and Noel Miller, they have a podcast studio where they host other people's podcasts as well. So people can I guess smaller podcasts can go through them. I'm assuming they get some sort of cut. Maybe they help them with ads or help them grow. I don't know how it works. But it's just basically like signing to an ad agency maybe, or whatever it is. And so it was announced, I think it was Monday, it was announced that he would be stepping down and not be doing like the day-to-day activities with the company. Which is a bit weird because it doesn't sound like he's resigning from the company. He's just not showing face. So I don't really know exactly. It sounds kind of like I'm still going to profit off of everything, but I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to be on the podcast. I'm not going to do any work with the company. I'm not going to go say what up to the employee. I'm not going to do any of that stuff, but I'm still going to collect the money. I don't really know. I hope that's not but it came off that way. And they sent this stuff off to their Patreon subscribers and their website subscribers. So they still haven't, and I think eventually Noel Miller posted something on either his personal story or on like the TMG account or something, and was like, hey, I'm going to talk about stuff coming the next episode. So I don't know if that's going to come out Friday and we're going to hear from Noel and see what his side of the story is or what. I don't know. But I'm very excited to see what Noel has to say about everything. Being as that's your co-host and friend for 6, 7, 8 years that they've been doing that shit together. They've been making content together, and now something like this happens, and I don't know. It's real tough, and I could not really imagine going through a situation like that, but it just seems weird to not respond, I feel like there's a way you could have, maybe not necessarily you could have taken accountability in some way, and you could have even lied and been like you didn't know, even if one person online was like, I told you, but you're like, yeah, no you didn't. You could just you could just back end everything that they say. You could just say that never happened. There's a million things. I mean, who knows if it actually happened or not, but it just seems a little bit more fishy that he hasn't responded to anything. To me, that's a little more fishy, because I feel like if he would have responded right away and would have been like, none of this shit's true. And again, maybe he knows it is true, and that's the part that he's like, I don't want to lie. I don't really know. But it's been real tough. It's been real tough to see, especially as a creator that I typically enjoyed. I enjoyed his content, and so it's sad to see. It is sad to see that. But I don't know if there's any updates really, besides he's stepping down from TMG Studios. He hasn't posted on YouTube. He hasn't done anything. He's been radio silent except for the post about leaving his podcast company. He has not said a thing. So it's kind of hard to gauge. It's really hard to gauge what the hell's going on here. People kind of turned. People really did turn against him. But I guess we'll see. Maybe some evidence will come out supporting him or damning him. I don't know. But we'll have to see when more comes out. The second big story that broke was a member of the Mr. Beast team, Ava Chris Tyson. She was also exposed 2 weeks ago, or whatever it was. And I don't know who originally broke this story, but basically what was going on. And I don't want to go into all the DMs and stuff like that, all the Discord messages, all the whatever, the tweets. Because out of context, some of them don't sound bad. But when you gather them all together, they sound pretty bad. So Ava was messaging a mod, I believe. I believe this person was a mod, or just whatever. It's a fan of Mr. Beast. This person was, I believe, 13 at the time, and Ava was 20. So it's kind of like, eesh. But Ava was saying some pretty like explicit things. And it was just weird and gross. And then I guess some Discord messages got leaked, a whole chat log, and I was like, I cannot read this. So if I find a cool video, hopefully they can summarize it better. I'll link it down below. But there's like it's like years worth of Discord messages. It's like ain't no chance in hell I'm gonna read all that. But there's this the mod was this person named Lava. And Lava was 13 at the time, fan of Mr. Beast, and I think was doing moderation for the Discord or for the Reddit, or I don't know exactly. But there was a lot of, explicit images, not of themselves, but like just inappropriate things said. And when you're 20 speaking to someone who's 13, no bueno. No bueno. And so kind of people were talking about that. Ava eventually stepped down, is what she said. She stepped down from Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast said she was fired, so I feel like I'm more leaning towards Mr. Beast. She was fired. She actually put out a statement. All this shit was blown the fuck up. And the weirdest part I think about it was, like, all these people were, like, just talking shit about everybody at this point. Anybody who made any sort of content about the Dr. Disrespect thing, I feel like people didn't really care about the Cody situation that much. As soon as the Ava situation came out, people were blowing up Twitter. Like, where are all these people now? Where are all the people now? It, like, just broke day of. Like, this was day of news, right? Like, it just hot off the press. They're like, why didn't all these people post videos? Why aren't people posting tweets about Ava? They just only want to post about Dr. Disrespect. Oh, they're always so scared. And this is because, and they're all saying this, frankly, because, and if you don't know, Ava is a transgender woman. And I think that was, people, these weirdos online, they think that they were scared to speak about Ava because of that, which is just not true. One of the things that at least I personally have also waited for was I wanted to wait for the person to respond. And that's exactly what I did with the Dr. Disrespect situation, right? I waited until he responded, and then I read the statement. And his statement was bad. And now Ava responded as well. And I was kind of I was going to record a video right when that happened, but I was just, life got in the way. So I kind of waited, and now I'm here, right? I wanted to wait. But there was so many people getting attacked online. Specifically, like, a lot of female creators were getting attacked, especially ones like Pokimane, Valkyrae, just to name a few of, like, people that were just... Moist Critical was getting blasted online for not talking about the situation right away. It's like all these big creators, and it's like they instantly, like 1 second after this shit broke, they're like... But it's like you want people to do their due diligence with other things, right? When it was Dr. Disrespect, it was, oh yeah, you have to do your due diligence. We have to hear from all sides. It can't just be this. It can't just be this. No way the doctor would do that. No way this. No way that. But the second it was Ava, people were like, yup, that has to be right. And I think we know why. I mean, we know why. But I'm not going to say it because, frankly, I don't want to. But I know the exact reason why. It's not because what we think. It is because. Anyway, that shit was pissing me off a little bit. Obviously, I don't give a fuck who you are. If you're an adult talking to children and going explicit in any way is wrong. I don't care. I do not care. If you are targeting those people, if you're targeting underage people, saying those things specifically to them, that's wrong and that's disgusting. You're a disgusting human being if you're doing that. And that's what she was doing. And that's the shit that I will never be okay with. But I don't think it's fair that, it's the typical rhetoric, right, surrounding people that identify like Ava does. I'm not going to say it because, because people are going to take my words and twist them, and I'm not trying to do all that. But people that identify like Ava does, people have this notion of those people that they always think that they're some sort of child groomers or whatever the fuck. And that's just not the case. But having one person who is kind of like, oh, perfect. Now I can use this forever. And it's gross and it's weird. But that doesn't excuse it. Just because they're using, her as like this pawn almost, doesn't excuse what she did. Because what she did is fucking disgusting. And then, apparently there was more stuff that came out. There was something about an assistant that was working for Mr. Beast at the time. And like, basically she was Chris at the time. Chris was like coercing her into doing some naughty things. I don't know how I don't know how vetted this story was, but Chris was like coercing her into doing some crazy things in order to get more, screen time in the Mr. Beast verse. I don't really know exactly. That one I haven't done too much research on, but I'm going to do some more on that because that one was kind of crazy. But even just the messaging, Discord messaging, minors, explicit things, in like Lolly and stuff like that, very disgusting. And I'm glad that she got harassed off the internet at that point. Those people don't deserve to have platforms, don't deserve to have people watching them. But her statement, she released a statement on Twitter, and it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. This is what she said. She said, I would like to apologize if any of my past behavior or comments, if it hurt or offended anybody. It was not my intent. Seeing recent events were mutually decided, it was best that I permanently step away from all things Mr. Beast and blah, 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 blah. I want to add I never groomed anyone. The person who was brought up in these accusations at Lava has vocally supported that they are false. Having said that, I humbly apologize to anyone I have hurt with my unacceptable social media posts, past actions, and those who may have felt betrayed by how I acted online. To lump these two factors together to create a narrative that my behavior, blah, 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 edgy joke did not happen. I have learned that my old humor is not acceptable. I cannot change who I was, blah, 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 blah. I don't care. I'm going to be honest. I don't really give a fuck about any of this. Basically, the people that send all these jokes in the past or whatever, they're like, it was just being edgy. You're not being edgy. And also, you're a 20-year-old talking to a 13-year-old. Ain't no edgy. Ain't no edgy humor. Ain't no none of that. You are an adult talking to a child. You should not be talking to children anyway. People send you messages all the time. If you do social media enough, people will send you messages. You don't know how old everyone is when they message you right away. People are like, oh, I love your content. Oh, thank you so much. That's it. That's all you got to say. It's so strange to me to have like a personal relationship, being 20 years old, having a personal relationship with someone who's 13. It's just weird. It's fucking weird. And sorry, I need a sip of water. But her statement seems, like the typical YouTube apology, like I never meant to hurt anybody by doing this. And at first, this Lava character said that he said he didn't feel like he was groomed, which is like, that's fine, but you were. I mean, and then I guess Lava kind of took back what he said and kind of was like, now looking back, maybe it was more than I thought it was. So it's just gotten progressively worse. Like, to be honest, it has gotten progressively worse. And then Mr. Beast also dropped a statement. Okay, so Mr. Beast said, over the last few days, I've become aware of serious allegations of Ava Tyson's behavior online, and I'm disgusted and opposed to such unacceptable acts. During that time, I have been focusing on hiring an independent third party to conduct a thorough investigation to ensure I have all the facts, which is great. That said, I've seen enough online and taken immediate action to remove Ava from the company, my channel, and any associations with Mr. Beast. I do not condone or support any inappropriate actions, and I will allow the independent investigations the necessary time to conduct the blah 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 blah. So obviously this is a big PR disaster for Mr. Beast because Ava got her shine from being a part of the Mr. Beast stuff. So you almost feel a little bit responsible. And the fact that Ava had been friends with Mr. Beast for a long time. Like, they were childhood friends, and they like started the Mr. Beast stuff together. So you almost feel like responsible, even though I don't think Mr. Beast should be responsible for that. But there was also, all the Discord stuff came out, and I guess Mr. Beast was saying some not so nice things on there as well. And I don't know, man. It's been a tough stretch for Beast heads as well. But I think at this point, more shit just keeps coming out. It's like, at this point, I don't even know. Like, there's really not much else to say, really. Like, fuck Ava for what she did. Fuck her for talking inappropriately to minors. That's gross. It's disgusting. I hope that she, goes back and spends time with her family and just stays the fuck away from the public eye. Go do whatever the fuck you need to do, but you need to stay the hell offline because that shit is gross. And using your fame, and it sounded like she was using her status in Mr. Beast to like coerce people into doing things. It's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. To be any person in any sort of power, to try and leverage your power to coerce people to do shit is gross. It's fucking disgusting. And honestly, those are the people that belong in, well, jail, to be honest. Jail. Do I think any of these people are going to be going to actual jail? No, probably not. But who knows? Maybe Mr. B said he's putting out a third-party person to investigate all this stuff. Then I guess we'll see what happens from there. I don't really know what the third party... I understand the third party because Mr. Beast has his biases, right? Obviously, Ava has her biases. And then the people who have been submitting the stuff, you got to confirm that everything's 100% true. Because unfortunately, too, we live in this social media age where people will make shit up in order to get some likes on Twitter. They'll be like, I was also a member. I was also in this. And it's like, no, you weren't. But they will say it just to get some social media clicks. And it's kind of, that is another disgusting ass thing of social media. But maybe once this independent third party does their investigation, we can figure out more and hopefully figure out some sort of action. I don't know if it's going to require the law. Maybe it will be some sort of punishment that way. I don't know. I don't know what the next step is. So I guess we'll see on that. And we're still more shit's coming out every day. It's like getting worse and worse progressively. But at this point, I don't see how it can get much worse. I don't know, unless it like comes to find out that she ended up like sleeping with the kid. I really don't know what else could be worse than what we've already seen. That would probably be the only thing worse than what we've already seen. And then the last one. This one's kind of fresh. This one just came out, I think last night or the night before. AMP cameraman Chris. I can't remember his last name off the top of my head. He was also caught talking to a 17. I think she was 17. And he's in his 20s. Now this one there's not as much shit going on with this because this isn't like a super popular person. He was just a cameraman for a popular group. But Kai already brought something up about it. Kai got really emotional. And you see that and you're like, okay, Kai. But he got very emotional and just sad, because it sucks because you feel like again, I think it's the same thing with Mr. Beast, right? Like, Kai almost feels this sense of responsibility because like he put this cameraman on, he got him, he's been working, been making good money, been with the AMP guys, so they're always probably out at the clubs with all these whatever, or out in public with all these people that want to see the AMP people or whatever, and you almost feel that sense of responsibility. But I don't know, this one is not as, it's crazy, it's very crazy. Some of the messages I've seen were just vile, especially knowing the age of the girl. They're just vile ass messages. But now obviously he got I'd assume he got fired from AMP, but I don't know. I don't really know what the next course of action is for people like this, because I don't even know if there's like specific laws set in place, right? I mean, is it like coercion of a minor? I mean, it's grooming, but I don't know if like grooming does it, let me see. Does it have a grooming is not always a crime, but it can be if it involves sexual conduct in the United States. Many states have a law that criminalize grooming minors for sexual purposes. Grooming can also be prosecuted under laws such as harassment, stalking, or fraud. So, I guess I don't know. I know what the consequence. Okay, I want to know like. I can't really find out. So it sounds like it would be tough to get any of these people into a lot of legal trouble, because it's such like a weird gray area, especially online. And Cody's is kind of, if that one gets found out, right? If that one gets found out, that one's kind of like open and closed case. I feel like if he did that shit, he could go to jail. I also don't know what like the statute of limitations is on that. Like, I don't know if, because it happened 5, 6, 7 years ago, but I don't think it like that expires, you know. And then the Ava situation again, some of the stuff that's been coming out, the newer stuff about like coercing people into doing things, that could definitely be punishable by law. I don't know if making, as she's put it, edgy jokes, I don't really think that is, because you're not really coercing people into doing things for you. You're just sending inappropriate things to them. So I don't know if that's necessarily punishable. It's just you're being a fucking weird creep. And then, yeah, the other Chris, the AMP cameraman Chris. Again, I think it might be like he's saying all these like sexual things, but he's not. I don't know. I don't know how it works, because it's such like a weird law, and there's so many stipulations, and unfortunately there's so many fucking people doing this that I don't know how they're going to get everyone, nor how they're going to lock everyone up. I don't think they'll lock anybody up, if I'm being 100% honest. I don't think anything will happen legally. I think these people might just get canceled off the internet and, you know, whatever, and they'll probably get to live their lives like normal, which is kind of weird and gross, but I guess that's just where we're at, man. Hey, so that's the end of the video here. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments down below. I am sorry that, like, of the last few videos on this channel, and it will be like 3 in a row, have been about like a very similar and very disgusting and awful thing. But it's just like, it's just what's happening right now, which is weird. It's like a trend almost. But I just had to speak about this, man. And I'm trying to, like I said, I think I said it, I don't remember, but I'm trying to post 1 video a month. That's like my goal. It might be 2 videos in 1 month and then skip a month. I don't know. We'll see how it ends up. I always say that and then I just disappear from the channel for a while, but I'm trying to do more like thought out, written out content. This one was a little different because I didn't really have a lot written out, clearly. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down below. Hopefully gonna have another video within the next couple weeks. It's pretty much already written. I'm updating it because, you know, there's more shit that's been happening, so updating that, and then I'll probably record that soon as well, because I think it's a good video. And then after that, hopefully we can get to more fun stuff. Maybe we can get to less like depressing topics and get to more fun. That would be great. But anyway, thank y'all, love y'all, and until next time, it's your boy, King Boys Productions.